Daddy Squared. Gay Dad Saved the World.
A daily dose of gay dads on the front lines of the global pandemic.
With Alex McGann and Jan Dick.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Daddy Squared, the Gay Dads podcast. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I don't know. I just eat my way through the day. Also, if I have to have these fucking earphones in my ears for much longer, I'm going to lose it. I feel like I can floss through my brain because I wear them all day long to talk to people, for work, and I'm losing it.
I want to discuss with you something really interesting that happened today with Ben. It's, that we give our kids much more iPad time now that Alex is working full time and I'm basically started working more and almost full time. And, we also have the house. So I just cleaning the house and making sure, like making dinners and making everything, it's by itself a full-time job.
You just realized that? Women have been telling us that for hundreds of years, and what, you haven't been listening?
Anyway, so I was saying all of this just to justify the fact that my kids get more iPad time. So today, Ben is not a usual iPad consumer. So today he decided to ask the iPad, what are the names of Destiny's Child group? So he asked that, and Siri gave him the song Say My Name by Destiny's Child. So he listens to this song, and he comes to me and he's like, why aren't they saying their names in Say My Name?
Right, it makes a lot of sense.
And I don't really know. So what are the names? I say that I don't know, even though I did.
Why'd you lie to your son?
Every gay should know. Because I didn't want to give him the names because then he would ask me to spell it.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
want him to find it out by himself. So I said, there's another Destiny's Child song when they say their names at the beginning of the song. And he just could not get this answer. And that leads me to the question, Alec.
Hi, my name is Alex. I don't know if you know me, but we've been married.
Shush. And that leads me to the thought that they don't get no as an answer for a question.
Now, I'm not sure if this is true, right? So children have always asked a lot of questions and demanded to get the answers to a lot of questions. But I have this theory, which is that when I was a child and I asked a question, my parents could say to me, I don't know. And that was largely the end of the story because they didn't know. I didn't know, right? I suppose I could have asked them to drive me to the public library, go into the Reader's Guide of Periodical Literature, find the entry, find the magazine, flip through the pages, and find the picture of the, whatever the frick it was. But no one was going to do that. So when they said we don't know the answer was, there is no
That's
answer.
It, yeah.
Now they have this assumption that no matter what piece of data they want, Google will provide. The answer will come. And they're largely right. And it's a really strange difference.
Yeah, because it's like when we say I don't know, it's like, well, what does it mean? Just go on Google.
Just go and know.
Exactly. Just find out. Anyway, for those of you who are wondering, what is the names? Is the song? The name of the song where Destiny's Child say their names? It's actually Bootylicious.
Oh, Bootylicious!
It's not Say My Name.
Oh yes, my body's too bootylicious for you, baby.
Today we're talking with a couple, Alex, Sean and Nick.
Okay.
Or Nick and Sean, depends how you want to refer to them. Sean is a grocery store manager, and Nick is a liquor store stock manager.
I love the fact that we're discovering these people who are, a grocery store manager is absolutely critical. Otherwise, everything falls apart. And whether you like it or not, so is a liquor store stock manager.
Yes, and it was Alex's idea to find a grocery store manager. And I remember that when we did the research and I couldn't find anybody at the beginning, you were like, okay, so I'll go and ask at the local pavilions.
Yeah.
And he literally wrote on the shopping list, gay dad.
I did.
Find a gay dad.
I did. There was like milk, dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets, and get a gay dad.
All right, so here it is. Here's the gay dad that we got from Columbus, Ohio. Let's call them Sean and Nick.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, Nick.
This is Nick. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Is Sean there too?
Sean and Piper are here.
Who's Piper?
Piper, can you say hi?
You shut up.
Oh my God!
Piper's very
And that's
busy as well.
Piper.
Piper's keeping us busy.
Obviously, one of them is using their very, very high girl voice.
How old is Piper?
She's 2.5.
Excellent. Well, we will try to interview you between the squeaks. Can you tell us a little bit about what each one of you does for a living and how you feel like it's changed, which I imagine a lot during this pandemic?
I'm actually a liquor representative, so normally I work with bars and restaurants, just selling them new products and helping create menus and different concepts and ideas to bring in new business as well too. So once the quarantine kind of went into place, our jobs kind of switched over and geared towards the liquor stores.
Right.
So since for basically almost 2 months now, I've just been working in liquor stores, essentially stocking the shelves. In the state of Ohio, we saw a huge increase of like 24% increase, I think, on liquor sales during this time. So
oh my God.
Kind of looked like New Year's Eve every day.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to stay home, you might as well drink.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sean?
I work for a company called Meyer, which is referred to it kind of like it's not as bad as Walmart, but we're not as classy as Target. So we're like comfortably in the middle.
Okay. Well, and how have things changed there?
When everything first started, you know, we went from like normal business days to, you know, wait times to check out was about like an hour, you know, with every single lane open. So, you know, that was stressful. And at first people were like, you know, really, really thankful that they were able to get in. And then that lasted probably about a week. And then it turned to, you know, why can't I get bread? Why can't I get milk?
Yeah.
You know, I've never ever walked through like a store before and just seen like empty aisles.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had to call the cops on people like several times because I mean we have like a no return policy right now.
Uh-huh.
And I would say like there's a 70-30 with people right now. Like 70% are understanding and, you know, we all get this, we're all in this together.
Right.
Then there's like that 30% who either think like the virus is like a hoax.
Right.
Or, you know, we're just trying to like not be accommodating. So, you know, I've had to have people escorted out. I've had a guy try to spit at me the other day. So, I mean, that was fantastic.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Tell us about Piper, please. We need to hear.
So she's 2.5.
Right now, she's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which is her favorite thing.
So she's a little docile.
Excellent.
Thank
for
you,
now.
Mickey Mouse.
Right?
Yeah.
We adopted her since birth and was at the hospital for delivery and everything. So it's been amazing experience having her at home kind of full time right now has been a handful at this age.
And you guys, so do you both go into work now?
Sean works full time, 50 hours a week.
Right.
Kind of when it first started, he was actually working 6 days a week. Oof. I working in the liquor stores, they only wanted us to work 3 to 4 hours a day at the stores and then come home and work.
Right.
So
with all of this with all of this craziness and change in your life, can you guys describe any of the silver linings to this?
I mean, I've seen a lot of good out of people. I've seen a lot of bad out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the support local that we're doing right now has been huge. Like I'm really into comic books, so my comic book store closed. So, and I went ahead and paid for, you know, a whole month of pulls for them just so they had income coming in.
Support
Nick
local
put together a food truck deal for our neighborhood.
Right.
You know, to help support locals. So that's something that he just put together with a couple other friends in our neighborhood. You know, just because, you know, people are stuck at home. They don't really, you can't go out to eat. You can do some.
Tired of cooking every day and cleaning and doing dishes. I feel like it's repeat every day. I'm like, didn't I just do the dishes? Didn't I just do laundry?
Oh, man. Like 3 dishwasher loads a day.
Yes.
It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's actually not a bad transition to my last question. If you want to do that, should we do that?
You can do that, but I have a couple more.
Oh, well, then I think you should ask them.
Well, I try not to interrupt you. We'll talk about it in couples therapy later. But what I wanted to ask Nick first. So, Nick, I wanted to ask you, what's the most requested liqueur?
Oh, yeah.
If I may say.
Good question.
And what's the least requested?
So whiskeys and bourbons are a huge thing, and what's been really annoying is there's a couple of specialty whiskeys and bourbons out there right now that are very hard to find. They only come every 2 weeks to 1 month, and the store might only get 6 bottles of it. But as of a couple days ago, the biggest ask was tequila and triple sec for Cinco de Mayo. It was very busy.
And I assume the Corona beer does not go well.
No, I haven't seen one single person, and I work in a grocery store, buy Corona.
It's
so tacky at this point.
Yeah.
Poor things.
Yeah.
Look, I just want to remind you guys, for those of you who don't know, that back in the 1970s and early 80s, there was a diet like appetite suppressant thing they used to do ads for on television all the time. It was like a chewy caramel thing, and it was called AIDS. I'm not kidding.
What?
It was called AIDS, and then the AIDS epidemic started, and they closed shop really fast.
And another question. I have a question for Sean as well. So you talked about what it's like in the store. Are you one of those who comes out at the beginning of the day telling all the people in line, we don't have toilet paper today? We prepare them before they go in?
We finally started getting it back in stock, and that was the big thing. We would open up at 8 a.m. and people would be lined up, and we'd open up the doors and people would run like it was freaking Black Friday for toilet paper.
Yeah,
I was waiting for toilet paper to be the new currency.
Totally. I don't really understand it. I still don't understand it. With all of the things that there can be a shortage of, there are alternatives. They're not pleasant alternatives, but there are alternatives.
So are there shortages right now as far as your shop experience?
So probably as of last week, we started getting in napkins, which was really hard to find. Nick made fun of me because I brought home some cheap 2-ply toilet paper, coffee filter toilet paper, which was something that I would never buy, normally. And he looked at me and he's like, why would you buy this? I'm like, look, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Definitely.
So, we finally got in basically a whole aisle full. So it's all of our normal stuff.
Right.
And it's for me working in the liquor stores, a lot of my liquor stores are actually inside of big name brand grocery stores like Giant Eagle and Kroger.
Oh, I see.
They've been getting quite a lot more than his store has gotten as far as some of the brands and suppliers go.
Got it.
Occasionally they'll get Charmin, and then he comes home with stuff that I basically could use in my hand and get the same thing done.
Oh my God.
No, it's the last couple of weeks it's been bad. It's scavenging. It's you find a thing of chicken nuggets for Piper, and I did a dance because we got a 2-year-old. Yeah. And her diet literally consists of hot dogs and chicken nuggets. Well, guess what you couldn't find for a couple weeks?
That is not a bad transition to our final question, which is, can you share with us the very worst thing that each of you has eaten in the last week or two?
Actually, I don't think that we've
kind of been... My goal was to kind of empty out the fridge and the freezer of just random things. So I've made the most random meals before. I'm trying to remember what I made for you.
We had a lot of people get us wine for our wedding, which was, several years ago. So we were trying to get through some of that wine.
And we're not wine people.
Yeah. Right. So we tried to be wine people. It didn't really work out the best for us.
So you're saying you've been spending a lot of time face down on the floor while your child climbs over your body.
Basically.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine.
Acceptable
Desperate times.
for that age.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'd say macaroni and cheese is a big one for me that I've been just making boxes, macaroni and cheese, and I keep looking at the serving size. It says 4, and I'm one person.
I mean, it's just a suggestion.
Serving sizes are bullshit.
Totally.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, guys. By the way, why did you name her Piper? Is there a reason? After you're not watching Charmed, are you?
So, okay. So I love Charmed. Nick,
I knew
hates
it.
like any sort of that kind of thing.
Yes.
Like I was destined to name a kid, Prue, Piper, or Phoebe.
Oh my God.
They have a witch.
Yeah.
We're friends now. We're totally friends. My kids are 4, and I started teaching them about charms. Once they were 3.
It's never too early.
Never too early.
Okay, whatever.
Guys, thank you so much, and be safe.
Yes.
No, thank you guys for
Thanks
having
for
us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Daddy Square.